here to talk to you about the new Revolver 2022 remix. My thoughts on the album. I listened to Revolver today while I was in the car in my drive. The new 22 remix, and that includes Paperback Writer and Rain as well. I listened to those on the Giles Martin remix. I want to give my thoughts on all that. So we're going to start off. Man, I think I'm blown away by this new Giles Martin remix and Revolver. Have you ever seen the video listening to the Beatles with just one headphone? You know what the old stereo mix of Revolver was like? It's like you got the voice in one ear and the instruments in the other ear, and you're like, this makes no sense. Why in the world did they do that? This is so gimmicky and 1960s gimmicky. I don't know if that's a word, but Taxman, that came out ahead of time. That's based on more of the stereo version. I like the stereo separation on it, but it's got the cowbell comes in at the same time on the stereo version and not the mono version. I'm used to listening to the mono version, so I like the remix of Taxman, but I'm going to say mono's going to win on that. Eleanor Rigby, oh my goodness, that sounded incredible. The stereo separation on Eleanor Rigby is fantastic. I'm going to have to give it to the mono still, and I'm probably going to say that for all the tracks, so I'm just going to go through what I think about the stereo versions of each of them, the new Giles Martin stereo. So, we had I'm Only Sleeping. Man, in the new stereo, that's like crazy. Finally getting to hear that in a good stereo mix and not the crappy 1960s one. Love You Too, the George Harrison song. The stereo separation's still better than the 1960s, but not a huge difference on that. Here, There, and Everywhere. Okay, Here, There, and Everywhere was really good. I liked the stereo separation on that in the new stereo Giles Martin remix. Man. Yellow Submarine. That was kind of based off the mono. I'm really glad that they did that. They have the acoustic guitar at the beginning that was cut out of the original stereo. And whenever they're doing the call and response, they finally put in the Life of Ease, which is on the mono but wasn't on the original stereo, which drove me nuts. Because, like, it's a call and response. As we live a life of ease, every one of us has all we need. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit too much there. I'm just going to go ahead and give my final thoughts. Thumbs up. Much better than the original stereo mix. However, I'm going to give it to the original mono mix whenever it comes to Revolver. That's going to be my definitive listening, especially on vinyl. But if I'm going to listen to Revolver on streaming and I want to listen to stereo, which, by the way, I'm glad they finally have the mono on streaming now, but if I want to listen to stereo, it is most certainly going to be the Giles Martin remix and not the original 1960s mix, because, let's face it, hearing in one ear the voice and in one ear the instruments, not so great. So 2 thumbs up for the Giles Martin remix of Revolver, and go give it a listen, guys. It's great.